Hi everyone, Wayne Allyn Root, Crush House Cappers. Another episode for all the sports gamblers out there. The media calls me the king of Vegas sports gambling and America's odds maker. I'm the only handicapper in the world with a 180-pound granite star on the Vegas Walk of Stars right in front of Paris Resort and Hotel in Las Vegas. Next time you're in town, check it out. Now this show is for every kind of sports gambler. Whether you're a high roller or you're brand new and you're betting $5 a game, doesn't matter. All that should matter to you is winning. And that's what we provide right here on Crush House Cappers, winning point spread advice. This show is sponsored by Vegas Winners, my website, vegaswinners.com, where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. And up next, my interview with a great sports handicapper, Ken Thomson. Ken, welcome to the show.
Wayne Allyn Root, great to be with you, my man. Always looking forward to this time of year. We're right there upon college football starting first, August 28th with 5 games, and then roll right into the NFL. And, of course, being here in Vegas, nothing like the Raiders actually going to have fans in the stands. Kind of weird being there last year at Allegiant Stadium with no fans in the stands. Kind of unique setting, but really looking forward to the opening Monday night game. And Wayne Allyn Root, I know you've got the money, but a lot of people don't. That opening Monday night game for the lower seat sections, $2,000 per ticket, pretty much everywhere in the lower bowl.
I don't know where they find 60,000 people with that kind of money. I'm always amazed that you could fill these stadiums with the prices they're charging. Crazy. But it brings me to another question, Ken. And I asked this about a month ago on this podcast of Sean Salisbury, the former NFL quarterback. You know, I go to a lot of Las Vegas Golden Knights NHL hockey games. And the Knights have the best home record that I've ever seen of any team in any sport, maybe in the history of all sports in America. They win every home game. How do I know? Because I've been to I think it's 27 games, and my record is 26-1. Either I'm the greatest good luck charm in the history of hockey, or they just don't lose at home. I don't think it has anything to do with me. So I think it's because of this massive Vegas home field advantage. I said this to Sean Salisbury. When teams come to Vegas, it's that aura of Vegas. They go out to strip clubs, they go out to nightclubs, they pick up beautiful women, they stay out late at night, they drink too much. The next day, they have a game, and the Knights win every time. Is the same thing going to happen in football? Do you think there's a massive Vegas aura home field advantage that'll translate to the Raiders too?
Yeah, I'm really hoping so. I mean, the Raiders need all the help they can get, especially down the stretch of the season. Last 2 years, they've started out great, but really had trouble closing out. So it's going to be key for them to win games at home, including they have 2 of their last 3 there at Allegiant Stadium. So I'm hoping that it works out that way. I know opposing coaches are going to say, hey, guys, look, you want to go out? Maybe go out after the game. We'll figure things out, but prior to. But remember, all those family members, too, coming in, hey, we'll meet you in Vegas. So even if it's not the player themselves that are going to get into late-night activities prior to the game, they're going to have all those family members and friends going to be bothering them, texting them, and keeping them busy and unfocused for the game. So I'm hoping that pans out to some W's for the Silver and Black, because I've got that Raider win total over right now, over 7.
And I agree. I always said 20 years ago, I said they should have every Monday Night Football game in Vegas, because every team in the league will look forward to coming to Vegas and bring with them their whole fan base and all their relatives and all their friends, because everybody loves Vegas. So I agree. Every time the Jets or the Giants or Philly comes to Vegas, all their friends are going to come along. So, yeah, it's going to be a party central, and that should give the Raiders a great home field advantage, just like the Knights, if they don't fade late in the season, which they seem to do every year under John Gruden. But having said that, Ken, it's a schedule issue. I saw the schedule. They have an easy schedule to start the season, so once again, they should go 6-2 to start, and then a tough schedule down the stretch. And everyone will go, oh, they fade. No, they faced much tougher teams towards the end of the schedule. The schedule maker didn't do them any favors last year or this year. So we'll see what happens. Other NFL predictions by you for this season. Do you think a Tampa Bay can repeat?
They can repeat, but I don't have them coming out of the NFC. I think the NFC is going to be very competitive, and by far the best division in the NFL is going to be the NFC West. And that's right now up for grabs. The Rams just lost Cam Akers. That hurts big time. They're starting back that they were expecting a lot from. But, you look at Arizona, and it's not just J.J. Watt going over there. That's some leadership coming over that'll help out on the defense. But I think Kyler Murray's ready to move up a little bit. Russell Wilson sticking around in Seattle, maybe reluctantly because he didn't get to go to Chicago or somewhere else after Fields ends up going there. So San Francisco, Jimmy G, does he stay healthy? And is Trey Lance ready to, take the torch if something happens to Jimmy G early in the season? So those teams there in that division, to me, Wayne, it's going to be the most watch division, and I think the most competitive division. Green Bay, we're still waiting. The jury's out on Rodgers. We'll see what happens there. That, of course, will dictate a lot. Tampa Bay, they signed everybody, and, if they protect Brady, the guy's the master. There's no question. I think back to all those years in New England and even early on here in Tampa Bay. When has this guy ever been blindsided to where you just remember him coughing up the football like Derek Carr does 3 times a year and just, lying down, not getting up real quick? I mean, he's amazing. He keeps on going. He's got that little clock ticking in his head, gets rid of the ball early, and, I don't know. NFC, though, I'm going to look for somebody different. But I do have Cleveland coming out of the AFC. I think Cleveland matured enough, and I think the acquisition of Clowney helping out there with Myles Garrett is going to give them the best pass rush in the NFL.
All right. And, personally, I think the Rams are the team that could beat Tampa Bay coming out of the NFC. Matt Stafford, I think, will make all the difference in the world. Cam Akers, a big, big loss. Let's talk about college football. Texas and Oklahoma. Are they not longed for the Big 12? Are they headed for the SEC?
Boy, I'll tell you, it's crazy with the name and likeness stuff coming out and the amount of money that Bryce Young, the quarterback for Alabama, has made without even starting a game yet. It's showing that this name, image, likeness deal could, dictate the amount of money that a player can make by the team that he's on and by the conference that he's in. And we know the SEC is king, so I think Texas and Oklahoma are looking ahead and saying, it's great that we're up here in the Big 12, which only has 10 teams, but we don't want to be left out. We don't want our players leaving for another SEC team just because they're members of the SEC. If we go with our brand, Oklahoma and Texas, to the SEC, we feel name, image, likeness, we're going to be right up there. Maybe not Alabama, but we'll be right there with Georgia and the others right there in that top 5. So I can understand why they're looking to move. Then what happens? Then you have 8 teams left inside the Big 12. Then all of a sudden we're back to looking at these superpower conferences to where you're looking at potentially 16 teams in a conference.
Well, the Big 12 has to act defensively now, right? They've got to add a couple of big names. Somehow, some way, if I'm them, I'm adding teams and I'm going after some big name teams. And just as an example, why is BYU still floating out there as an independent? BYU should absolutely join the Big 12. They're a big name, big program, giant following. No reason in the world. There's no advantage to being an independent team anymore. I mean, so I think the Big 12 should act now and go after some big name teams and maybe, either prevent, or cause some doubt in the minds of Texas and A&M, Texas and Oklahoma and leaving, or at least add 2 teams. They're back to 12, and that may change people's minds. But you can't stick with 10 in the Big 12 and stay where you are, right? Can't stick.
There's no doubt. And if you go down to 8 and you lose the 2 biggest names, especially Oklahoma, because Lincoln Riley's elevated that club even further now. So they're at the top of the Big 12 and everybody else. But, you've got an Iowa State team that may challenge them this year, but that's a fluke. They're not usually at the top of the game, although Matt Campbell's really put that program on the map, and I expect the Cyclones to be a pretty good program for some years to come. But yeah, Texas still has that brand. The Longhorns are a national team. They've been slipping over the years, but with Sark there, there's a chance that offense could be pretty innovative again if he's able to duplicate what he was able to do at Alabama for those few years while he was the offensive coordinator.
All right, last question. Handicapping style for a Ken Thomson. What sets you apart from all the other handicappers?
I think because I watch more games and I understand that it's not just reading statistics and going over trends. You've got to do the homework. You've got to watch things that you see. And I feel that I'm able to judge inside the trenches on both sides of the line of scrimmage in college and pro football as well as anybody, to where you may not get involved a big time bet before the game starts, but in-game running, which is available pretty much everywhere now, that's when you're able to make some moves and you're able to get point spreads, sometimes going both ways to guarantee yourself a profit. Wayne, I know you've taken advantage of that. It's a great thing, I think, for the player as opposed to the sports book, although the book does make profits here and there because they take advantage of the average Joes. And that's why guys like you and me, we try to educate and help people so they understand the inside stuff that we're able to get away with that maybe average bettors won't.
All right, Ken Thomson, thanks for educating us on Crush House Cappers. 18 years now, I believe, you've been the star of Sports X Radio in Las Vegas, the oldest sports radio station in this town. Have I got those numbers right?
You got them right. Yeah, 101.5 FM now and 720 AM KDWN. Wayne Allyn Root, I always appreciate coming on with you, man, and you're a legend here in Vegas. You've been so for a long time.
Thank you, Ken. Have a great day and have a great football season.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hope to talk to you soon.
All right, I'm your host, Wayne Allyn Root. Thanks for checking in with us at Crush House Cappers. Another great week. Thank you, Ken Thomson, for joining us today, our guest handicapper, smart guy. And all of you need to remember something before we leave. Go to vegaswinners.com. The winning is free. All my picks are there. Free. Point spread winners. Money to be made. Register. Sign up. The picks are free. You also get prizes. You also get trips to Vegas. Hang out with me and guys like Ken Thomson. Break some bread. Watch some games. And experience Vegas like you've never experienced in your life. All of that is at vegaswinners.com. Watch all our podcasts, Crush House Legends, and this Crush House Cappers, all the shows at vegaswinners.com. Have yourself a great week. See you next week. And just remember, always win, baby.